Hi, thank you so much for being here today. So in this video, I thought I'd share with you some of my favorite thrifted items, just briefly mention each one of them and show you, and then give you some tips on thrifting, how I managed to get items I really love at a very affordable price, how I avoid buyer's remorse, and just how to stay on a budget. So yeah, if that's something that interests you, then keep watching. We're not gonna do this in any order because if I have to choose a favorite, we'll be here for a long time. And also, most of my belongings are still in boxes since we moved to this house, but these are some of the few items that I have already out of boxes, and so I thought I'd share them with you. Once I unbox some more boxes, maybe I'll do another video like this. But for now, let's start with this basket. This is a small basket I found mainly because I envisioned my little girl walking in the garden with it. Especially in spring, we harvest a lot of vegetables, and our basket that we use to get those vegetables is pretty heavy for her, and this one is small enough, as you can see, that the handle carries all the way till the bottom, so it's sturdy enough to carry things. Number two is this little pottery canister. I love these for their color, the material, the shape, also the size is perfect. For the moment, it's housing some dog treats, so yeah, this is one of my favorite items. I have a couple of them. Number three are these two mugs that I love so much. They're handmade, obviously. I love their color and their shape. They're signed here at the bottom, and they have a different color inside and one outside, and they just, in the weekends, to make a coffee and enjoy breakfast in one of them just makes me feel very special. And number four, these vintage garlic graters. I first got this one for myself, and I just love it. I love the color, the shape, the little pedestal it sits on. And then not long ago, I found this one, and I texted my sister and I said, Mimi, can I please get you this one? And she was like, oh yeah, I'd love that. So I got it for my sister, so I'll take it to her next time I go to Spain. But I love it too. Look at that, the writing there is different. This one is a little bit darker in color than this one, and it doesn't have the pedestal this one has. But yeah, I love them so much. They're just so precious. I mean, how do you make a grated garlic special? That's how. And number five, this vase right here. Oh my gosh, I just love it. Look at that form. This is Bloat Glass. I love this. Look at it. The color, the form is just so beautiful. It is etched down here by the studio that made it, Hysteria Art Glass. I just love the free form and the shape, everything. The height, I just imagine it adding some height and elegance to a spot around the house, so I cannot wait to style this somewhere. And up next, speaking of height, this one I just love it. The color, the shape, it's just so beautiful. And look at that, you can almost see the, like, you see those lines? I can almost imagine the person who made it, literally making it. It's just so beautiful. I love lilies, so I used to always put lilies here. It's so beautiful. And the next item is this duo right here. It's a marble salt and pepper shaker. I love these. They're so heavy. Obviously it's marble, but I just love the feel of them in my hand. Look at that, and I love the silver right here. This mechanism as well of the pepper. I mean, how cute is that? You know, I much prefer this to the usual twisting motion, but yeah, I love these, and I was so happy to find them. And while we are at marble, actually, let me show you. Just look at this. I'm sorry the sun keeps coming and going, but just look at this. Oh, I just love it. I can see this on a shelf in my new kitchen. I literally have the picture in my head, so I cannot wait for the kitchen to be completed. Then there's another very special item. It's a ceramic lemon juicer, and oh my gosh, I love this. White and red. I have a lot of tea towels of the same, like old vintage linen tea towels that have those red stripes. Just look at that. It has a little handle right here and a spout, and I just knew the moment I saw it that it's coming with me. Here it's written Italy. Oh, and it's just so pretty. And then it's this little bowl with the S. Looks very much like a Britney type of, you know, when you go to Britney and you get all of those, what is it called? Souvenirs. They always have that S on them. So it reminds me of something from there, but this is handmade, and you can see behind here It has the name of the person who made it, the shape and the color. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then I have these napkins right here. These ones are they remind me of spring, so they will be definitely out in spring. It looks like watercolor drawings, and there's some ladies there just enjoying gardening, so they remind me of myself. And they're just simple white ones with that little blue flower right there. I just love the handmade aspect. Each flower is different. To think that somebody took the time to make each one of them. There's also lots of them, so that will be handy when we have lots of people over for dinner or lunch or something. So I look forward to that. And the last item before we move on to tips is this garden encyclopedia book. It's huge, and it was such a steal, honestly. Inside I was flipping through it the other day, and it has everything from planting to pruning, seasons, everything. It even has like layouts and different pathway ideas. I've been working on our garden since we moved here, so I cannot wait to just flip through it and learn and just be inspired, really. Hey, I was editing this video and I just did not like the second half. So much so that I decided I'm just gonna redo it. So let's just get to the points. So my first point is to make a list of everything that you are looking for. A mental list or an actual list would be even more helpful. You can also put a color scheme if you have one in your home, a certain home aesthetic you're trying to go for, just to help you be really picky when it comes to choosing things. For me, for example, I'm shopping for larger pieces as we do our home. That means I also keep measurements of certain pieces. So if I see a piece that I really like at the store and it's at a really good price, I right away take out my notebook and I see the measurements if it fits those measurements. So making a list like that not only allows you to stay within your home aesthetic and color scheme, it also prevents you from buying duplicates or trendy items that you just have seen so many times that now you gravitate towards without them really being your true style. And this will help you it will just give you a focus and direction. So now that you are clear on the things that you need, let's move on to the money part. And here I think the most important thing to know is your thrift stores. Get to know your thrift stores and what kind of discounts they provide, their pricing. Some stores are more expensive than others. Some stores provide more discounts in certain days. And don't only search the chain. Sometimes two stores of the same chain would have completely different pricing and completely different discounts. The second money tip is to set a budget. I cannot tell you how important this is. When you go with an unlimited amount of money in your mind, you just end up taking whatever that you think you need or you think looks pretty at the moment, and you just end up impulse buying tons of stuff. But when you actually have an amount that you will not go over, it forces you to be very picky. And even if you have so many items, that this happens to me a lot, even if I have so many items in my cart, I end up selecting only the items that I really want because I prioritize them. Because the budget is tight, that means that I will only get things that I truly love. Of course, there's an exception to this when you find a piece that is very special to you and you have been looking for a very long time and you know you will not see it again. It's okay to go over that budget, but the fact that you have been looking for it for a long time, that means it is a piece that you really want and fits in your home. And the third thing I do is every time I see an item, I give it a price in my mind, and that just helps me know the true worth of this piece to me. And then I would ask the vendor for its price, or I would flip it to see the price tag. But if it's more than what I already set in my mind, it means it's not for me. And my last tip is just to get to know yourself as a thrifter. I know that sounds ridiculous, but notice your habits. Do you tend to get a lot of a certain thing? Do you have a problem staying away from mugs? For example, one thing I have noticed in me is that if I hesitate, that means that item is not for me. Even if it looks gorgeous and the price is very appealing, but if I hesitate to put it in my cart, 99% of the times, if I bring it home, I will end up regretting that purchase. So there you go. Those are some of my tips and tricks I use every time I go thrifting. I hope you found them helpful, or at least some of them. And if you did, then please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around. Thank you so much for being here, and happy thrifting.